So guys, if microphones on a mission to spread light, I think the whole world would agree. The system is down. 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 The system is down.
Hey, we are back. We're doing our best to do lots of things that aren't working. I don't know what happened. The internet speeds are fine. I apologize to Mediacom. It wasn't their fault this time. But something fucked up, and hopefully you find this. If you don't, I'm sorry. Well, I'll have to stitch it all together later, and my day is going to be much more inconvenienced than yours is by this. So, fuck you. But where were we? Dave Smith was destroying, crushing, and obliterating Steven Crowder or something.
Totally.
I don't remember where we were in the conversation, but this, for all the shit that we've given Steven Crowder, and I think he deserves it because he kind of came in, it seems like he came into this debate looking for a debate and looking to try and win a thing, and then he kind of got weaselly and whatever, and he had his tactics, whatever. It was a debate. It was entertaining. It was very, we showed you, 10 minutes in, they were talking about Iran. 45 minutes in, they're still talking about Iran, and it's the same bullshit tactics and throwing in Obama stuff. It was entertaining, and also I don't think that it matters all that much. I think that it does. I think for the sake of the conversation, it matters for Dave Smith to be talking to people like Steven Crowder instead of only people that are just aggressively, angrily against him. Steven Crowder has been, but as the conversation went on, let me know if you disagree with this, Dave, but as the conversation went on, it seemed like it got more amicable, more like there would be times of just deviating away and getting a little bit more chummy, and then I feel like by the end, it was a lot more chummy, and according to people like Liam McCollum, in the after party, or whatever they call their Mug Club after party, they had it even more civil and productive conversation where it sounds like Jared and all the people were a little bit more open to Dave's ideas, which I think is weird. Let's play this real quick, and then we'll share thoughts on
to
this.
your credit, I think one of the things that you've helped me immensely is the history with Scott Horton. I've really listened to a lot of how we got into some of the wars that we've gotten into, some of the perspective I didn't have. I grew up in a Protestant church that did place more Israel focus than maybe I wanted to, but Andrew Wilson and I talked about that, and I'm like, listen, I think people would be surprised at our viewpoint on some of this stuff. I don't. And also Daryl Cooper. And one of the things about Daryl, and I reached out to him just to say this, because sometimes, listen, if I disagree with you, I'm going to say it. I hope I do it in a productive way. If I don't, I've supported you many times as well, because I think that we, like Steven said, agree on a lot more than we disagree on. But Daryl Cooper does an amazing job of putting you in the mindset of there's a 3-year-old on this side, there's a 3-year-old on this side, man. And you've got kids, I've got young kids, and that changes the ballgame for everybody. And when I thought through, okay, the claims of genocide, take that as you will, right? One way or the other. In my mind, the label almost doesn't matter. There are kids dying, period. Right?
Yeah.
It does matter to some degree, but you understand what I'm saying. The label doesn't matter as much. There's kids dying. That stopped. There's caravans of people that are in a war zone right now that are returning home that think this is different. My perspective was, okay, shouldn't there be anything? And really the critique of Mehdi Hasan is, does Mehdi Hasan hate genocide so much? Which I think that the answer would be yes. I don't think he likes the death of children. But what is preventing him from just saying, I hope this holds?
Credit to Donald Trump.
God.
That's what it is.
Credit to Donald Trump.
In Mehdi
That's
Hasan's
really what I
instance,
was
which is
kind of
different
wondering.
from Dave's.
Yeah.
Would be
That I
my-
wouldn't-
Yeah, I mean, I get your point on that, and I think that look, there's no question that let's say there's been a lot of critiques of American imperialism from the left, and there's been a lot of critiques of it from the right.
Yeah.
And I'm much more, I'm much more in the Ron Paul, Pat Buchanan camp. And I think that for me personally, look, this is the truth, right? What motivates me, even though I hate the kids dying anywhere, is horrible,
sure, of
you know?
course.
But we all feel that way, right? But honestly, that
I do, at the very least, like the idea of these people getting somewhat off the internet and having these conversations in person, because I've seen Gerald be stupid toward Dave Smith and just calling him like anti-Semitic or whatever. I don't know if that's exactly what he said, but Gerald has had some dumb takes that I've called out, and Steven Crowder's had some dumb takes. I do like, for all of the smarmy like debate tactics and whatnot and back and forths, I do like that there are conversations that used to be borderline illegal to be had are now being forced to the forefront, and the people, the neocons and the Zionists and the people who just knew what they knew because they knew it, God said it, that I believe it, that settles it, it's in the Bible that we do this. Those people are being challenged on some of their beliefs and some of their just blindly accepted views on political things such as this. And I'm glad that the conversation happened. It's not the most interesting of debates, but I do think it does bear more relevance than the internet seems to care at this point. Because, again, the Nick Fuentes, Tucker Carlson thing came out almost the same day, like within 24 hours of this conversation with Dave Smith versus Steven Crowder. Honestly, I think that this is a little bit more interesting and maybe more consequential in the long run. But I don't know. I'm torn on that because I think that Nick Fuentes going on Tucker Carlson after Tucker Carlson called him a little gay dude in his parents' basement or whatever, and all of that stuff, and the rise of Nick Fuentes is certainly noteworthy, and we'll talk a bit about that in a minute. But what do you think about this, Dave? Do you think that Dave Smith needed to do another debate? Do you think that Steven Crowder there's any hope for him, or is he just a bought and paid for shill for whoever, Israel, or where do you land on all this?
I don't know. I share your sentiment that it's good when these people get in the same room, because both in the Tucker and Nick talk and Dave and Steven, you got beef online and everybody talks a whole lot of shit, and then you get kind of like in a room or like on a podcast, and it's the whole tone changes and you can get a little further. That one dude, the producer guy, he has been pretty stupid on Twitter from what I've seen. Like, I don't know much about that show, but I think I've even chimed in on like a couple dumb things that he said.
Sure.
But he seemed cool there. He seemed genuine. I didn't like, so I don't, I appreciated that. And it's just encouraging to see people like him on a show like this that does numbers like that, oh yeah, I learned from Daryl Cooper and Scott Horton. Thanks, Dave. Like that's cool. I'm learning over here. That's happening more and more.
I mean, the mainstream media is trying to make it out like Daryl Cooper is Nick Fuentes, if not worse. So for them to, even behind the paywall, right? Say, I do sometimes listen to Daryl Cooper. That's still something.
Yeah, it absolutely it is. Like, and I wonder if he even knows how risky that is to say, because that guy is the worst compared, coming from some of these people. But that's the common denominator that Dave shares with Daryl Cooper and Candace Owens and Tucker there's no degrees of separation between Nick Fuentes and Dave Smith to your average like Zionist influencer. You and I know those differences. They've had debates over the years. They did recently. Maybe there's more overlap these days than yesteryear. But I don't know, man. I think that those people are getting attacked because they're effective. Like when Daryl Cooper talks about like, puts people in the mindset of, like a mother looking for her kid after like this place has been, like, okay, that just hits you on like a fundamentally human level. And that kind of cracks through the propaganda. So they hate that.
Yep. Agreed on everything. And Daryl Cooper, amazing storyteller, amazing, some might say propagandist, but propaganda isn't always used for lies. Sometimes it's used to let you know that you've been lied to. Now, speaking of, we do have to, now last week's episode we talked a lot about Nazis and feds and all the labels and lies and whatever that's being thrown around, and it was like, I think 5 hours after we ended that conversation where we're like, I'm so sick of everybody calling people Nazis and feds and it's all fake and it's all bullshit, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It was like 5 hours maybe later that I posted this about Nick Fuentes, where I said, and I quote, Fed. I've been back and forth on Nick Fuentes, and I still enjoy listening to the conversations, but at this point, at least, clearly I was more inclined to believe that he was a Fed than I have been in the past, and I have recently said that his conversation with Dave Smith makes me think that he's less of a Fed than I ever have. But just for this to come out now from Nick Fuentes, for this to be Nick Fuentes' spicy hot take, it's really hard for me to hear this take and not think that it's written, and to think that it's written by Nick Fuentes. The Nick Fuentes of yesteryear that's banned from all the platforms for being controversial and against the Zionism and whatnot.
What do you think of Trump going after Massey publicly? Why would he not support a congressman that clearly wants to put America first? And why would he help the people opposing him, if not a good boy?
Because Massey is against Trump's agenda in every way maybe including that. The only thing what's funny about Massey is that Massey is against Trump's agenda almost entirely. And he's the only one that is consistent in that he also opposes Israel. That's why. That's not a difficult. If you know anything about Massey, that's not a difficult question. But if you're some numbskull that's like, Massey's the based congressman that actually it's like, dude, Massey wants more immigrants here. Like, Massey wants more immigrants. He's like a fiscal conservative budget hawk. You know, he's like Rand Paul in that way. Like, he's the only reason he's consistent on Israel is honestly for the wrong reasons. He says he's America first. I believe him when he says that, but it's part of this like libertarian ideology that puts him against Trump already. So that's why.
What do you think of?
Okay, so Massey is bad because, yes, he agrees with me on this thing and that thing and that thing, but Massey is, everybody knows, way open borders, left-wing Thomas Massey. Way too libertarian, way too liberal for Nick Fuentes, because, I don't know, there seems to be a trend of any time somebody starts agreeing with Nick Fuentes on anything, Nick Fuentes makes them his public enemy number one and goes on the defense against them. Started attacking Candace Owens as soon as she started talking about the Israel war, started talking shit on Tucker Carlson, digging into him at the same point, started talking shit on Thomas Massey when Massey is the one of very few AIPAC congressmen or anti-AIPAC congressmen who are doing things and actually being principled. And his reason is because, that's just libertarians being libertarians and they like open borders and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bitch, I've made the propaganda on Thomas Massey, and no, none of that's true. It's not. Well, he makes it sound like Thomas Massey's being like the Democrats, where he's only against Donald Trump because it's Donald Trump. He's just the never Trumper. But Thomas Massey has been in favor of many things that Donald Trump has supported, but on the logical, reasonable, principled things like, Epstein and guns and borders and vaccines and whatnot, Thomas Massey is really he's the guy that Donald Trump pretended to be that got him elected this last go round into the White House. And that makes some people angry. But for Nick Fuentes to be getting, a super chat asking about Massey and for his response to be, oh, that Massey guy, and then to give the exact same response as all the MAGA bullshit cult member influencers are giving right now on Thomas Massey, it's like, okay, bro. So they're all saying Thomas Massey's, like all the GOP are saying Thomas Massey's like anti-Semitic left-wing or whatever. Nick Fuentes is like, well, he's not anti-Semitic, but he's not anti-Semitic enough or something. I don't know. It's just always, nobody's ever good enough for Nick Fuentes. It's kind of like Ryan Dawson. If Ryan Dawson, sold out or did whatever Nick Fuentes is doing right now, like everybody that agrees with you, you're so insufferable. If somebody agrees with you, you're like, well, I thought that first, and so I'm going to attack you for agreeing with me. And it's the only thing that makes people go, hey, that sounds like you're a Fed. Any thoughts, Dave?
Well, he said this. He's had, similar comments about Dave Smith saying things like, yeah, Dave's only against Israel because he's, a Ron Paul guy.
Yeah. He's the token Jew, but he's not anti-Jew enough.
Right, he's anti-war for the wrong reason, or he's anti-Israel for the wrong reasons. So yeah, that's just, you have to do it his way. And this is, again, I'm more susceptible to like listening to Nick Fuentes now than I was 5 or 6 years ago. But you have to remember that is like a kid. He's a kid, essentially. He came into his own with Trump. They covered this and like, man, like your political identity, like your whole self identity is still being forged like when you're 18 years old. And he did come from like libertarian roots.
Mm-hmm.
He said that. Like, oh, it's just, he said all the libertarian shit. Limited
Libertarian to
government,
alt-right
fiscal
pipeline.
responsibility.
Like, we all got accused of
Right.
being Nick Fuentes supporters and followers back in the day when really neither of us probably even really knew who he was or what he was talking about. I wasn't watching him. I saw a clip or two, but every time I looked into him, I was like, oh, that's a dork. Like,
Yeah.
he was like the big evil enemy. So this whole Nick Fuentes arc of him being this kid who had these spicy takes that were so racist and offensive that he got banned from all the platforms and got debanked and got whatever, like this big victim, and then he comes back, they let him back on Twitter, and then all of a sudden he's back on everything. Is this obviously to some degree it's an organic shift in the culture, it's a swing back from the liberals of last year, but there's definitely something inorganic feeling about Nick Fuentes going from banned from literally everything to now on literally everything, up to and including Tucker Carlson, one of his biggest detractors and haters of like 2 months ago, and now Tucker Carlson's having him on, and Tucker Carlson is giving Nick Fuentes less pushback than he gave Ted Cruz when Ted Cruz came on his show. What is happening? What is happening? And we've talked about the whole Fed debate with both of them. Here is, to set the record straight, one alleged Fed, Tucker Carlson, versus alleged Fed, Nick Fuentes, discussing whether or not they are Feds.
I thought you were a Fed. I
thought you were a Fed.
I was a Fed.
Yeah.
I'm not a Fed. But whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, we showed each other our badges. We know well.
No, but I thought you were a Fed because I was like, why?
Really, that's the clip right there to me. They go on to explain more, but
So
that's
great.
the clip.
It's so great.
There's something off here, like Erica Kirk off here about the body language and being and Nick Fuentes or Tucker Carlson being like, I thought you were a Fed. He's like, I thought you were a Fed. Me a Fed? What? That's I'm not.
Me?
I'm not a Fed. But I don't actually care what anybody thinks. Like, I don't know. It's like if we let our brains go to these guys are both Feds, are they being encountered here with the fact together that they are both Feds, and they're like they're so dedicated to their role, they're such performative actors that they have been playing out this no you're a Fed, and they didn't even know. Maybe they are so secluded in their Fed mission that now they're coming in contact here, and it's like, I thought you were a Fed. That's crazy. Let's talk after this. I got some things like to talk to you about. Right. Is it that, or am I just crazy? Is this like two just harmless, radicals who had a conversation, a forbidden conversation that I want to support because any forbidden conversation should be had very loudly, but is this the forbidden conversation that they want to make it out to be, or is this Fed versus Fed? I don't know. I don't want to be a hater, but I don't know what to think anymore, Dave.
I just agree with you because I don't know what to think anymore either. They both we've talked about it a lot about how they both display Fed-like behavior. Mm-hmm. If I had to guess, if they were Feds, that Tucker has been a longtime Fed and Nick is a new Fed. Maybe he got scared into being a Fed. Like maybe he like he said, he's had a guy show up to his house with guns and stuff and people threatening his life. Like maybe it's just easier at some point to be like, all right, well, I'll play ball with these people and they'll like offer protection.
I sold out today. I put a spicy title, a spicy headline that was completely clickbait. At some point, you just go, fuck it. I'll touch the wall. I'll take the money. I'll post the tweet. I will. I'll do what I got to do to run for president in 2032 or whatever Nick Fuentes is probably gearing up for, and do this complete about face, and everybody will go along with it because that's It has to be the script now. How have we seen the Rachel Maddow explosion about the Nick Fuentes rise? Have we seen the MSNBC concern about the Nick Fuentes rise? I'm sure there's a little bit, but there's not nearly what we saw out of them about Nick Fuentes when he was nothing, when he was nobody, when you couldn't even find him.
That's an interesting point.
I haven't even thought about it
he's
until
been,
now.
He's been released. He's been released.
The lack
and
of
nobody cares.
outrage is insane.
Yeah.
Like, you released the crazy part. You released the Joker from prison, and all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, that's interesting. What's going on over here? Oh, a squirrel on water skis. That's neat. Like, wait, that guy was Hitler yesterday, and he just got out of jail and is now on the networks. Supposedly your former guy has his own network. He's going on that network that's now bigger than cable news, and cable news is all of a sudden not concerned about the rise in whatever they were concerned about Donald Trump being. I don't know. Something's weird, Dave, and I don't know what to make of it. Javier Milei, any thoughts on Javier Milei? Because he's been a bit of a head scratcher lately. He's been getting money from Donald Trump, and he's the libertarian, like God's gift to libertarianism, we're supposed to believe, in Argentina, and he just had a major victory for their midterms or whatever, and we're supposed to be all happy about it. But I saw people like, Ben Shapiro praising this and being like, yes, liberty. And I don't know about you, but any libertarian, quote unquote, that Ben Shapiro, like, for all the dirt that people pretend that they had on, or said that they had on Javier Milei, like, to not be trustworthy, Ben Shapiro coming out and being like, yes, that's the libertarian I like. I'm like, well, is he libertarian then? I don't know. I haven't kept up on Javier, but what's your take lately? Are you buying that this is the libertarian win that we're supposed to make it out to be?
I don't know, because I'm actually an America First libertarian, so I really have not been paying attention to Argentina.
Yeah.
But I am suspect of him, like I'm suspect of everybody else who rises to global dominance. But I do find it fascinating that he's like the hero of the capital L libertarian. Like,
right.
The Libertarian Party members love him. The classical liberals
the approved
love him.
libertarian views.
But he loves Trump.
Yeah.
So, like, I want to know, like,
Trump
where
gives
the
him a lot of money.
disconnect is there.
Yeah.
Right. And I guess that's where, again, this is where we just came back to with Nick Fuentes. Like, maybe at some point you take the check.
Who knows? Who knows how people rise to power? It's a mystery, really.
Some things will be secret forever.
Some mysteries are not meant to be found out. But anyway, speaking of libertarians, I thought this was worth a note. You've heard all the rumors and the rumblings and the stuff about the New York governor race with what's his name?
Larry Sharp.
Oh, yes. Larry Sharp. Yes. Larry Sharp is running for governor in New York.
Yeah.
Thank you. I am very happy that I've been nominated by the Libertarian Party for the governor's race. This is our third time. You guys are crazy. It's true. But I'm not sure who's crazier, me or you. I appreciate your confidence in me trying to make this happen. It is going to be challenging. And I know some of you are concerned about how challenging it's going to be. Rightfully so. This will be challenging. Challenging to get on the ballot, challenging to get the votes we need, challenging to get the matching funds. It will be challenging. But here is what I promise you. The same thing I've been promising you in the past, which is no one will outwork me. That I will promise you. I've gone to
the same thing I've been promising you in the past. So,
I'm back for the third time.
I'm here to
promise you the same things I've promised you before.
Here to deliver every bit that I delivered before. Dave, you got any thoughts on Larry Sharp running for governor of New York again? We've had some thoughts on it in the past, and I think that we both like Larry Sharp as a human, and have our issues with some of his. I at least have my issues with some of his car salesman strategies, but
yeah.
I've got my my thoughts on Larry Sharpe running for governor again. Do you have any before?
Well, I'm sure Larry will use this, and he'll work within nonprofits to capitalize on this for Larry, and that's good. No hate there. Go do it, man. Because you are literally the best that the LP has to offer. So
sure, yeah, he is
go
the
get
most
him.
qualified that we have for the job. But should the job be filled in New York for governor at this point?
Oh my God.
Should we put more money into when New York City is currently running for, like, they're trying to get a Muslim communist, like openly communist mayor? Is now really the time to spend money on a libertarian run for New York governor? Or am I just a hater?
No, I hope that whoever is in that room with him and doing this for the third time feels really good. I hope that you get something for your time and money.
Mm-hmm. Get that bag, bro.
I mean that. I mean it. Like, yeah, get paid. Whether it's getting paid for the signatures that you're going to have to get, the 100,000 fucking signatures. I hope you're getting money, or you meet some people that you like, or you just get satisfaction from this somehow, other than electoral victories.
Yeah.
Go
Move to Illinois. Like Pritzker. I mean, I live in Illinois. I live in a blue state, all because of Chicago, and it's a dump because of Chicago, and it sucks politically because of Chicago. Move to Illinois and run for governor against J.B. Pritzker. You're gonna do a lot better than New York City. New York, like the place that is currently embracing capitalism, like they're in a race neck and neck with California for who can burn their state down the fastest. And you're like, this is the state that I'm gonna stick around in. Not only stick around, and I'm gonna run to. It's like, I don't know. It's like if you're a white dude, or no, let's say Larry Sharpe, black dude. Larry Sharpe walks into the Klan and says, hey, I'm going to run for president of the Klan, and let's dump a bunch of money into some campaign ads and see how it goes. I'm not saying I don't want you to be president of the Klan. I'm just saying it might be a waste of your time, because democracy and whatnot tends to be a waste of time often, let alone when you're a libertarian in New York. But what do I know? I mean, we're supposed to believe that Mamdani is this evil Muslim capitalist that's going to 9/11 New York all over again. But
socialist.
Sure, socialist, communist, whatever you want to call him. He eats with his hands, which is gross. We all know that. Absolutely, we know that. But, this evil Muslim communist, he might be God's gift to humanity, because he seems to be bridging some gaps between Muslims and other communities. Here he is seen with the Big Hat Jews meeting for some sort of dinner. This is from Henry Fajord. Mamdani meets with the Mega Jews. Dave, this might just be my anti-Semitism talking, but I didn't know that the hat got bigger than the flat-billed one. I didn't know that there was a level up from the flat bill. I didn't know that Mega Jews existed, but, Mamdani, Muslim communist as he may be, he's having dinner, he's putting on the yarmulke and meeting with the Big Hat Jews that I didn't even know existed. So...
That's like the council of the big hats, bro. That's like when, like right before the presidential election, the candidates go before the that Catholic dinner. I can't remember.
Right before Charlie Kirk's new tour, huh?
You gotta be able to fume. Yeah, that reminds me of that. But I do think this is my conspiracy theory. I think he's totally stamped and approved by all of the councils that decide these things. So he's not like he's a threat to. He'll do exactly what he is intended to do, which is divide this country further and destroy it further from within.
He's just the AOC of running for mayor of New York. Like, he's just the next pawn. He's the next Ilhan Omar or whatever that was built in a lab and made to be like, oh, if you don't like this guy, then you're a racist because see how charming he is and how cool and hip. Communism, baby. Let's go. I don't know. It's all fake. It's all bullshit. And I did not mean to push that button. Yeah, even like one of the big controversies over the last week is that he, for some interviews, was gross when he ate like an Indian with his non-poop hand. Just so many stupid things. But and then there was this guy who attended the poop throwing festival in India and then got called a racist on the internet for just filming a thing that happened. Just the internet's been a disaster over the last week, and we haven't even talked about the EBT snap cards and whatnot. But it's all going to shit, Dave. It's all going to shit. Thanks to the H1B, H1, whatever it's called, Indians. Thanks to the Indians. Now it's all going to shit because everybody plays for the same team. I don't need Cardi B screaming.
Speaking of shitty Indians, Kash Patel is trying to block Tulsi Gabbard from doing important Charlie Kirk investigative shit. So just keep that on the docket maybe for next time.
I mean, I have to imagine that he's blocking her from that treason report on Barack Obama also that she seemed very confident about just months ago. But, you know, Kash Patel he's great. He's great. He's the libertarian for the Department of Justice. Just like Javier Milei is the first libertarian president. We're doing great. And so is Donald Trump. Anyway, I've never used that button before, Dave. I know that's the button you press on your mic, but that's my first time.
You play that fucking song right now. You play your own mute yourself song.
I'll play the song about Dave muting his mic. No. Yeah, I don't know what to believe or who to believe, and currently it's nobody. Like Javier Milei, I want to believe that he's God's gift to humanity, that he's the first president of Argentina to be an anarcho-capitalist, just like I was supposed to believe that Donald Trump was the first libertarian president of the United States, and just like I'm supposed to believe that Larry Sharpe is going to be the first anything in New York, even though he doesn't seem to believe in New York himself, if you go back and look at interviews that I've done with Larry Sharpe. But, you know, politics be politics, and the wheel will keep spinning, the wheel of, I don't know, the system that we're all cogs in will keep doing its thing, and we'll keep being called naughty names while we talk about what's actually happening in the world. I don't know how even to end this. There was plenty more to get into, the EBT stuff, and the poop festivals and whatnot, but I think it's best that we just say Happy Halloween, and the world is frightening enough you don't need more. You don't need more, but go watch the internet if you want your Halloween horrors this year. And the world is a frightening place. I've got nothing, Dave. I'm playing a show this Saturday at Poor Bros in Moline, Illinois. Did one last week as well.
Your jam of the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh yes,
you fucking crushed that, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah, go check that out online, everybody. And go have more fun with your band. That's awesome. You guys are good.
It's a good time, and it's part of why I haven't been paying that close attention. I know it seems like I have a lot of opinions on the news, but there's been very little news, and yeah, I'm focusing a little bit more on making some stuff with my kid and doing some music stuff and having a good time, enjoying life. I think that's where actual liberty lies, and in, you know, building freedom in your own life instead of building cages of stress and emotion out of bullshit that's happening in the world. So if this show is causing you any stress, please kill yourself. No, turn it off and go about your day and enjoy life. Dave, any final thoughts on this dumb shit?
Yeah, bro. Dave Smith absolutely murdered that debate, bro. Fucking just killed it. Mm-hmm. One more trophy for that dude, Dave Smith.
That's right.
We appreciate you.
That's right. Be on the lookout for much more spicy headlines, as I don't care anymore. Fuck the algorithms. Fuck honesty and whatnot. We'll still tell you the truth when you show up, but we're going to give you the spicy headlines because the algorithms are completely fucked right now, and nobody's seeing anything. And then my internet gets shut down in the middle of streams, and we got to start them over, so got to do what you got to do. But if you have been listening for a while, just know that we're going to stay consistent. We are not going to change personally, but if the headlines turn into, you know, I don't know, Donald Trump's mental decline is just so so impaired that he needs to be removed from office, it will be true, but it will be spicier than it should be because we got to get the lemmings in here and wake them up a little bit. Dave, where can people find you and anything you got going on, and any final thoughts you got?
You can find me sipping on a cup of nog, bro, from here to Christmas time. And also at Dave versus Goliath 1 on Twitter and dissidentmedia.com, Dissident Media on Twitter.
You can find me at thesystemsdown.tv, at TSIDPod on Twitter, or wherever the Systems Downs are sold. Also at dissidentmedia.com and wherever dissidents happen to be lingering. Newclassics.net. If you want to listen to some mopey emo music shit and me living my best life. But thank you all for being here and hanging out. Go support if you want to. No after party today, but you'll get the ad-free version that's all stitched together beautifully from our nonsense here. Until next time, question everything, stand comfortable, be bad, have fun, trick or treat, and enjoy yourselves. And if you find marijuana in your candy, just say thank you and move on with your life. Happy Halloween, everyone.
Thanks for watching. Smash all the like and subscribe buttons because that's what we say at the end of videos. Good night, everybody.
This concludes our broadcast day.